you. So, change of plans. We are now going to Cabo, but don't worry, it is just gonna be us.
Change.
Exercise an hour a day plus high intensity 3 times a week.
This 45-year-old millionaire has reversed his age by...
So that cut where it showed me on stage speaking there, you can see the dramatic difference where that was former me that was really not.
Enemies
Last player standing. Flawless.
Help me at all. If you look at the pictures throughout the doc of me, I've changed. I'm almost unrecognizable every 6 months throughout the entire doc. It's almost like different people.
by 5 years. His doctors claim he has the heart of a 37-year-old, using his life as a science experiment to see just how long he can live. AKA.
That image there of my face, that was one of the first times where I saw my UV damage on my face. So I was in the sun a lot as a kid, and I had no idea. Actually, my entire life, I had no idea the damage. So that image that we saw was like the first terrifying reconciliation that there's really serious damage. Skin. And so some of these images that flash on the screen, they're so important, but there's no context around it. So when you see it, like you just like can't map to what it is saying, but they're really significant markers about the biology of aging.
Brian,
do we really
one enemy remaining.
Being old,
Last player
if I had
standing.
$400 million, I wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
This is not an accessible method of reversing the effects of aging.
So only fucking world. It's not really reality.
So it's the reactions that I've gotten are so funny, and that's a pretty good collection where you get people like crazy out of his mind, he's in his own world, I don't believe the science. It's really a good collection. It's like from my vantage point in the world, like the flood of responses have just been everywhere. People don't know how to process this information. So they just get these like blah, emotional responses for like, hey, bad, no. So they're just like making these really like grunts of like, blah.
So I had a whole body MRI recently, and I'm in the 99th percentile for optimal for both muscle and fat across my entire body.
Have you ever been this in shape before?
No, never in my life.
I've had a problem most of my life.
When I tried playing for the other team recently, I found a lot of iPhone features that I loved, but I ultimately decided to go back to Android, enraging 87% of US teenagers in the process. Oh, they said, of course you have problems with the iPhone. It's the switching that's the issue, not those they don't know. I mean, I feel like the feature set of both...
Cover going out.
Found deploying drones.
Here. Stealing sight.
Cutting their vision.
Annihilated.
Spike down B.
Platforms is close enough these days. The process of migrating between them is probably more painful than daily driving on a device. But the thing is, it's my job to constantly swap out my tech end. So what I need then is some fresh meat. I'm talking people who have never...
One enemy remaining.
Some of the Apple faithful, if you will. And guess what? I found some. And I made them an offer that they couldn't refuse. I offer your choice of any flagship Android phone. I receive your iPhone for 1 whole month. Just like what I did. Also, don't tell them this, but there will be a little bonus offer if they make it through the whole month. What phone will they pick? And will they stick to Android after their trial marriage? Or will they go home with their original partner? I know who I'm going home with. Our sponsor. Oh, it's dbrand. Dbrand is for
The iPhone 16 Pro.
Hi, I'm Tynan. I work at Creator Warehouse as a senior mechanical engineer and our shop supervisor. And I'm running an iPhone 14.
Hi, my name's Andy. I'm the production supervisor on the shooter side, so I use another iPhone.
Don't worry.
Surprisingly, these were not the only iPhone anonymous in our office, but we chose these 3 for 2 reasons. One is that all of them are using a relatively modern iPhone. I mean, it wouldn't be fair for someone to come from a 7-year-old iPhone and compare that to a modern Android, would it? And 2, we wanted some variety in the types of people that we chose. So we've got the one who lives and breathes the Apple ecosystem, the one who's kind of indifferent but just keeps buying what they used to, which is perfectly valid.
I will find you.
And finally, the one who was already kind of interested in switching.
I have the spike.
Bomb buddy out.
My ult's ready.
Reach.
But just can't find the time. What with this dedication to finally bringing our amazing LTT cables to life. Coming soon, LTTstore.com. Let them into the store!
Last player standing.
Nice, and hired a minimum age employee to read the product cards to our iPhone users. The goal here was to tailor the retail experience and allow them to ask questions about the devices before purchasing them. Let's see what they pick. Oh, and hey, since we ran this thing, anyway, I'm going to make sure that they send over some of our collab glow circuit skins to stick onto the contestants.
How much do you know about any Android phone?
I know a bit, but not a ton. I debated switching to an ROG a while ago after I got one of Chris's party, and then decided not to.
They're a operating system similar to iOS. They can use phones.
The most common phones people think of when they think of Android are Google and Samsung. So we're actually going to start there, and then we'll work into some more niche ones. But I think they each have a feature that you're going to enjoy. Currently, Google is on Pixel 9 of their flagship Pro phones. This is the XL, so it's actually a little bit bigger.
See, my hands aren't actually, like, they're not small hands for a woman, but it really annoys me the way I can't get past. I can just about get past the whole screen on this one.
Cool. These are definitely large. One gripe I've actually had with phones in general heading, but also iPhones, is they're just getting physically large, and trying to reach at the top corner is really awkward.
I like it because it looks like iPhone.
It looks
Give me a call.
You should run.
Everyone hiding.
Just get the bomb and run B. It's like exactly like iPhone. It's got the rounded corner and slightly better like hole punch and stuff.
Okay.
I overall like the look.
So this will be your kind of Android interface. This is going to be as like stock as people would call Android.
Okay.
A lot of other phones do come with some skins or some variations and animations.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to compare this as the base
Last player standing.
What you're used to. There's going to be something that are
Spike
similar.
down, B.
Camera taken out.
Your apps or whatever. But you can also customize it. Definitely one of the features why people love Androids is they can change what they want. They're not necessarily locked down to the iPhone way.
I mean, so far it's good.
I have retrieved the spike.
Yeah, the extra screen size is interesting.
Cool. Do you know what you do with it?
No.
I actually was thinking like, maybe at some point I switch to Android, but like, I tried it at the store, but like, what about my other, iOS features?
What iOS features are you mainly talking about? Like, what do you need in an iPhone?
Well, everything. I have AirPlay, my HomePod and stuff.
Sure.
Apple Wallets.
Yep, that's also Apple exclusive. Okay. iPhone is definitely known for talking about, like, what do you need in an iPhone?
Everything. I have AirPlay, my HomePod and stuff.
Sure.
Apple Wallets.
Yep, that's also Apple exclusive. Okay. iPhone is definitely known for videos and being captured and photos and everything.
Yeah.
Google has like always been known as the photo guys for their phones. They have a lot of AI tools if you're interested in that to help clean up your photos and make it pretty. Why don't you take a look?
Yeah, like for the camera, it's just like it looks nice. One thing I kind of don't like about the current iPhone is the photo you take from iPhone is like very processed.
I see. Okay.
Good thing they have like raw, but like still like the Pixel a lot of time looks more natural, like more camera-like.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The camera in your left here, the Pixel Pro, is going to be a better camera. It has a little bit more megapixel, a little bit of.
Get out of my way. Cutting their vision. Stealing face.
Tripwire destroyed.
Off your feet!
Other updated settings.
Last
The biggest
player
reason
standing.
for that is the thickness. Because this phone is essentially half as thick, right?
Yeah.
You can't put the same quality camera in it. Is it enough of a deal breaker?
No.
Okay, well there you go. Take a picture of Andrew if you want.
Okay.
It's a big screen though, right? You can zoom all the way in, see all the details.
Yeah, sorry, God. Whoops.
I was gonna say, I didn't want to say anything wrong.
I was looking at the fabric. I was looking at the resolution. I'm not even realizing what I was looking at. Sorry.
I like both of them.
Okay.
I like both of them. Yeah, but like if I have to pick one, I'll pick this one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's move these ones to the side. Let's move on to Samsung. So these are probably the other most common phone people think of when they think of Android. We've got our S24, which is kind of your base model flagship, which I know sounds kind of funny. So it's still top of the line specs. You're still gonna get an incredible camera, incredible amount of storage, great battery.
Oh, that's important.
Yep, we have 128 gigs on this phone, 256 on this phone, as well as more RAM on this one. And then the fun Samsung one, the Z Flip 6.
See, that's a nice size.
All right, well there you go.
The size is good. I came from like a 13 mini and then upgraded to my like 16 Pro.
Oh wow, that's a very.
They will cower!
I have retrieved the spike. On target. My ult is
Big
ready.
difference.
Yeah, like, if they have a 16 mini, I'll go for the mini because like, I want like one-handed phone.
Yieldy reference sizing.
Yes.
So that's pretty similar.
That's very
in terms of overall size and just general form factor. I think this is even thicker and definitely heavier.
The rounded corners as well kind of give it that iPhone-y feel, right? This is the Ultra. This is like.
Oh no.
I didn't even get into anything. This is like the flagship of flagship Samsungs.
I feel like business bro with this one though.
Enemy tag.
This is a chonker.
It's chonker with very sharp corners. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a problem. Although with a case.
First thing I want to pick it up, I don't like it because like it digs in my palm.
Really? Oh, because the corners.
The corner digs in my palm.
That's so interesting. I think you are the third person out of all three people to immediately mention that the corners on this are like you're scared you're gonna get them caught on something or they're so obvious.
It's not really comfortable to hold.
Does the pen add to it? Because it has an S Pen.
Why do I need the pen? I'm like using my phone.
I am asking, trying to bring you the best customer service.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. If you're using this, the pen is cool.
Using some of the Samsung apps, you can actually write out what you want, and it'll translate it to like digital text as if you typed it.
Okay.
So if you're someone who prefers to do kind of like more physical
30
writing,
seconds
I think
left.
that could be
Last player standing. Spike down.
This one does have the highest megapixel count for the wide lens, and I would love to see your opinion compared to the Google Pixel.
Well, the roll-off's not as nice.
The roll-off, how can you define that? Like, what do you, for just for people at home?
You know, Pixels sort of like have like a little bit like filmy look, so like the roll-off like is smoother.
Okay.
But like for this, you can just tell,
One
like,
enemy
you know,
remaining.
the camera is trying to process like the edge of like highlights and stuff. Similar.
Okay.
But I still prefer like the Pixel.
Yeah.
We can try to take a very similar
highlight
Wipe the
look.
prints
So
from
like
your gun.
the roll-off. How can you define that? Like,
Good crime
for the wide
scene
lens,
ticket.
and I would love to see your opinion compared to the Google Pixel.
well, the roll-off's not as nice.
The roll-off, how can you define that? Like, what do you, for just for people at home?
You know, Pixels sort of like have like a little bit like filmy look, so like the roll-off like is smoother.
Okay.
But like for this, you can just tell like the you know the camera is trying to process like the edge of like the highlights and stuff. Similar.
Okay.
But I still prefer like the Pixel.
Yeah.
We can try to take a very similar picture of Andrew.
I'll take a higher up picture of Andrew this time, just a wee bit more flattering.
There you
we go. Okay, so that's what I was expecting.
Still in sight. Cutting their vision.
I was a little bit horrified with the last one.
Okay.
The thing is that, yeah, it wasn't a macro or anything, but like I
destroyed.
take so many photographs of like
Cage
little details like
triggered.
this, and I need a really good camera for that.
Here's Andrew.
I mean, that looks meh, but also I'm not
also
doing
10X.
any favors at all.
We got one more Samsung here for you. This is the Flip. So you actually do have a screen on the outside. This is where you can like quick access notifications. Someone texts you, you can see who it is, swipe it, whatever. But obviously, it is still a phone.
You know what I like about this is the fact that all I can see when I do that is the time of day, and I don't have the temptation to like get distracted, which I do.
Part of me misses the old days with the OG flip phones.
That's what this is emulating.
Yeah, just bigger and more smartphony.
But if you want to take some photos or test or whatever,
Yeah, not bad.
again, for most people, probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you immediately are like against it, for it? What's your feelings?
Okay, flip phone is cool. you
Cool.
know, especially like Final Fantasy VII, you know, the anime. Have you ever seen that? When the main character, you know, dun, 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 and then like do a flip phone, that's freaking cool.
First impressions. You like the size of this one. You kind of like some of the features of this one, but then the folding is called two.
Last
Which one is
player
your top one out of the
standing.
three?
I still think like even though this has got cool features, I'm not going to use the penny thing, and I don't like the corner. This is just like for the wow,
Yes.
you know, and for stupid girl pockets. For the sake of trying things out, I'm very intrigued by this.
Cool. I'm actually so happy that
Yeah.
that is intriguing instead of
Yeah.
just like default similar. What are the standout ones for you?
These two.
You like those?
This
Yeah.
one seems meh. If I'm like exploring having different features, I should explore having different features.
Cool.
Or at least I feel like I should explore having different features.
Great way to look at it.
I can't
Another
be away
slightly more different phone.
You don't necessarily like the form factor of this one.
You're all
You think
for
this
that
one's
one?
too big.
This one too big and cornery, and I like this one.
So you would just go with the S24.
Yeah.
We're getting into the ones that I'm calling the iPhone-y. Whether it's by physical design or the actual operating system, they try to make it as ease of use for iPhone users, iOS users, including having an
Come into the unknown.
Spike down A. Still in sight. Still in sight. Our spike's down. Spike down A. Last player standing.
No more.
One enemy remaining.
My turn.
Stay alive. I want their life, not yours.
I have retrieved the spike.
airdrop feature. If whoever you're airdropping to
Camera
download airdrop feature, if whoever you're airdropping to
Camera
downloads an
taken
app,
out.
you can airdrop to them. I know, it's a little inconvenient.
Is that only on the phone, or can I do it
Cage
on my computer?
triggered.
For me,
There.
AirDrop you don't have to install anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Inconvenient.
Is that
We're getting into the ones that I'm calling the iPhone.
Planted.
Whether it's
Cage
by physical design or the actual operating system, they try to make it as ease of use
One
for iPhone
enemy
users,
remaining.
iOS users, including
Last player
having an
standing.
airdrop feature. If whoever you're airdropping to downloads an app, you can airdrop to them. I know, it's a little inconvenient.
Is that only on the phone, or can I do it on my computer?
for me, AirDrop, you don't have to install anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It just works.
You're still
Like,
ringing.
you know, I hate to say that, but like it just works.
That has been the biggest complaint by far, I think, when we've asked anyone who's willing to switch to an Android.
Yeah.
They're like, what about AirDrop? Okay, I still want you to check them out. I still want to see what you think of them.
Yeah.
So let's start with our Oppo X8 here. Linus did a short circuit on this one, and he was genuinely very shocked with how much this just felt like an iPhone.
Yeah, like I can see why he said that. For absolutely, even with this, like with the Bluetooth and everything.
This one's really going to come down to the interface and just kind of how they feel
Yeah.
for you, right? Because if you like iPhone,
I have the spike.
Cutting their vision.
you might want to go towards these ones. But if you wanted to adventure away from iPhone, these might not be the choice you want to do.
Yeah, these definitely feel very, very similar in pretty much every way.
They're very similar operating systems. This one's a slight branch
Yeah.
off of our Color OS. They both have Dynamic Island as well, which is very similar to iPhone,
Yeah.
which is like the whole camera bump, and it'll show you your charge times or your camera record by like the rounded corners.
Around the corner, yeah, yeah.
Both of them running incredible cameras. Actually, you can see they're basically the exact same. I believe they're both by Hasselblad.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that looks familiar.
Yes.
That's like the same.
They caught my eye with the Hasselblad logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that significant?
First, they were well known.
Okay.
Especially.
Last player standing. I have the spike. "30 seconds left.
Like if you're like a camera nerd type of thing, like me. When I see Hasselblad, I know like the color is not gonna be like suck.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look then. Let's take a photo.
All right. That's about the same as Samsung.
As Samsung. So you would still then prefer the Pixels camera.
I think Pixel camera might still be better.
Okay.
That's an interesting design choice. Why is photo button red?
You would expect that to be video.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's red, and then that's
red,
less
like
red.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm using my own phone. I feel like if I'm going to go ahead and use an Android, I might as well use something that's like actually feels like an Android because
okay.
it's gonna feel. I think it's gonna just feel like my phone without some of the features that I
Got
want.
it. And that could lead to like frustration.
And I think that would make me frustrated.
We have 3 more phones to go through,
All right.
and then we'll narrow down our top 3.
Cool.
These are kind of the curveballs we're throwing into the mix, because each one kind of is special in their own way. This is the Asus ROG Phone 8. It's a gaming phone. I don't know how much you...
Jeez, this thing is massive.
It's a dongle. If you pick this phone, it does come with all the accessories. And there is a attachment cooler if you would like to have it on the back. It honestly compromises a lot of features that I think you'd like.
in the half.
So never mind.
Oh, double USB-C, which
That's
makes
a
sense
big
for
feature. Yeah, a lot of
if
people
you're trying to do
like
something like that. Yeah.
Because it's a gaming
Yeah,
phone, right?
it's a gaming phone. You wanna, game when you are charging and stuff.
Exactly.
Don't do that. It's gonna hurt your battery.
All right, I'm gonna create like wow, that's a UI, all right.
You're a gamer.
So this is like they got their like the icon got their own shape.
They will cower.
Bomb buddy out.
Shadows traveling.
You should run.
Found you.
Die.
Where is everyone hiding?
One enemy remaining.
Shock dart. Scanning ahead.
Did you know?
Found them.
Overeating and being overweight. Like the inability to actually control what I eat. I've always been pretty good at exercising, but I've always ate too much food and the wrong kind of food. And in this moment, I think I'm feeling into this feeling of like I'm healthy, I'm into it, I have a rhythm, and I have strength. Like I don't feel like I'm just vacillating day to day on knowing whether I'm gonna binge or not. Like really sinking into it feels amazing to be in good health. Like it's just the best.
When I first met Brian, it was not healthy, and we started talking about the philosophy of Blueprint, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, when I laugh about not being fit and not being able to exercise and that kind of stuff, I'm kind of laughing in the face of my future self. So it was a huge wake-up call for me. Now, here I am, like the other person behind this mission.
Yeah, Kate is like the person behind the scenes that has been a driver of so much of the success of this project, and no one knows about her. I think you all would benefit from getting to know her. She's like the kind of person, we all know these people in our lives, the kind of person that can do anything. She was the one who said, hey, we should probably put this on.
Spike down A. Spike planted. Last player standing. Ace.
They don't have a single life worth saving.
There.
Eyes up.
Cutting their vision. Still
Spike
inside.
planted. Last player standing. Team Ace.
Okay, I only have like 78 grenades left. Hopefully that's enough. Reloading. Reloading.
Embarrass them.
Right here. Scanning ahead.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Wiped clean.
Spike spotted A.
Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well give them to me.
Let's start this party. Get out of my way.
souls.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. Flawless.
Anyone have any splints? I may have jammed my fingers. Multiple fingers.
They will cower!
Multiple enemies A.
Player standing. One enemy remaining.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Thirty seconds left.
Get him.
Spike planted. Match point.
Wait until I blind them to strike. Who's next?
You should run.
My ult is ready.
Spike planted.
Off your feet!
Get out of here. My ult's ready.
Last player standing.
Taken out. I am the hunter!
Attackers win.
Fully embrace it.
They're
They're like a
fully
gaming
embrace
phone.
that's ROG. It looks like ROG, and I in general like ROG stuff.
You should open up the camera though.
I mean, the icon for it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. I mean, it seems fine. I think everything these days is going to have a fine camera, pretty much no matter what you're doing, I would assume.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I think it's going to be enough for you to get by, but I would not rely on, like, if you had to send a client a nice photo, I would not use this phone personally.
Yeah.
The uniformity is not as nice as iPhone.
The next phone is the Nothing Phone 2A. I want you to pick it up and use it, and tell me if something is different about it.
Do I have to put everything on this?
Yes, it is very, okay. I mean, the reason why is it is a $400 phone. It is dirt cheap. It is a different phone. It is a very different phone.
It also has a lot of like iPhone fit and feel to it too, other than, until you turn it on, and not so much.
If you decide to commit to it, we're gonna give you the full Nothing treatment. If you want to embrace the Android ecosystem, you can have the Buds and an Android Watch. These are all from Nothing, and these all still come out less than any one of these phones.
Honestly, this does not feel like a $400 phone.
Really?
I mean, like just like design-wise.
Would you say it feels like more?
It feels more premium than like a $400 phone.
Okay, cool.
I think like good job, nothing.
Still has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, right?
That's my gripe about iPhone.
Too small of batteries?
Too small of battery. We enlarged the battery size this year. And it's gonna be the greatest iPhone ever made. Of course, like if you're bringing a new iPhone, it's supposed to be the best one.
Do you like the OS interface? Because it's very different.
I like it, but like I'm worried that like in a couple of days I'd be like pretty over it.
It has lights on the back.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't remember how to turn them on.
I think like see, I'm like trying to pull down and then search. That's like my iPhone like muscle memory. So that's gonna be my biggest trouble of like finding where all the things are. Wow.
That's actually a good point you bring that up. We're offering a 1 week and a 2 week check-in warranty. So after 1 week, you can come to me with all of your issues that you're having. I will do my best to solve them.
Okay.
And then after 2 weeks, one more time, I will do my best to solve them. But then for the last 2 weeks, you're gonna be on your own. This is just to try to recreate you buying a new phone. My contacts didn't sync. What happened? I'm gonna help you with that to make your transition as smooth as possible.
Genius bar.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
That's cool. Wow, it's definitely cool.
It's a talking feature, you know, like
it's a cool feature, but like you're I don't know, like probably most of the time my phone stays in my pocket, so I can see it. You know what?
Yoru's down. Taken out. Smart move.
This could be useful. Like if you're taking photo of your kid.
Oh, you just play something funny because they'll probably look at it?
Yeah, they'll probably look at it and it's like right by the lens.
That's an interesting thought. I didn't even think about that. We should take a look at the camera.
Wow.
That's a great sound.
That was a noise.
Yeah, the camera looks like fine for like $400.
Where would you rank it amongst the other ones? Would you say it's like on par with like the Asus ROG phone? Would you say it's the worst one we've looked at?
I think like right now, just looking at this, it might be the worst one.
I've been intrigued by nothing phones in the past. Not enough to really like explore it seriously, but I'm just curious. I kind of like the general idea.
This is the Sony Xperia. The reason why this one's a little bit different is you're gonna notice it's very skinny.
It is skinny.
It actually goes for the aspect ratio similar to movies. I don't want to call it a photographer phone because you should just buy a camera if you're gonna get into professional photography. But the camera in this has been compared to be some of the greatest cameras. A lot of people really like it. I know Andy is very excited to pick out this phone personally.
I actually went to like Yodobashi Camera when I was in Japan, and I saw the newer version, the 1.6. I actually prefer the 5. I think this is 21:9.
Yep.
The newer one is like 18:9 or something like that, so it's like wider. The reason why I like this more is like it's very one-handable. For a larger phone, I just can't like one-handed type.
You should take the camera on this one because it's actually got a lot of optical zoom, not digital zoom. So if zooming in or whatever is important to you, and you have a camera shutter button. So if you wanted to grab focus and then like actually take the photo.
Oh wow.
Again, if that's something you want to do.
Super cool feature. I would probably never use it.
iPhone shutter button sucks.
Really?
This is the shutter button of iPhone. This is the shutter button of the Sony one. If I'm like taking a photo.
Oh, it's actually not in the right spot.
It's not in the right spot. It's a very stiff button.
Got it.
They call it not a button, but it's a button. If you're like pressing it down, often because the stiffness, I just shake the camera. I think the problem is this is like the overall clicky feeling is really similar to the power button.
On the iPhone.
On the iPhone.
Got it.
For the Sony one,
it feels distinct.
It feels like a shutter button to me.
We're gonna move everything to the side. We're gonna bring all our phones back out, and we're gonna slowly narrow it down to your top 3.
Sure.
I feel like none of the like kind of wildcardy special ones were really my thing.
We'll remove them from our list then.
I do like this one.
Cool.
I didn't think I would, but I'm just, it's novelty.
It's kind of a showpiece.
It's kind of a showpiece.
And like you said, when you want to kind of go completely away from an iOS experience, this is probably going to be one of your more kind of custom ones that is not going to feel like iOS because you have your screen on the outside.
I love how small and how compact it is.
Right? So I think this is safe to say it's in your top 3.
I think it is,
okay,
yeah.
We'll move it right to the side here then. Let's start with eliminating some. What are some that you just don't want?
That are specifically tuned for medium wave. I've checked with my long wave infrared camera and verified there is no transmittance. This one is a zinc selenide lens input to a indium gallium arsenide SWIR camera. Down here you've got a block zoom EO electro-optical visible camera. This one does 3 to 5 microns. This one does 1.2 to 3 microns depending on the tuning of it. And then this one is 480 nanometers to 780 nanometers. All right, this one's in a medium wave infrared camera.
Let's just take those 2 away. If we're done.
All right, they are out.
And those 2.
Okay.
Let's just do some quick
Quick.
decisions.
No, that's good.
Okay, sorry RG, I don't game. That's gonna go. Nothing.
It means nothing to you?
It means something to me.
Okay. Do you think if you were buying a phone that would change your opinion? Like, do you think nothing could be in this list?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Samsung. I don't really need a too small of a tablet, too big of a phone. Yes.
Wow, already, okay. Yeah. Flip phone gone.
I like flip phone, just not that form factor.
I mean, I think given what I'm trying to do with the actual Switch, I'm also not inclined on either of these 2.
Okay.
It's the gimmicks or the gimmick because of other things.
Okay, we're down to our last 6 here. Interesting choices so far. It's so fun to see this compared to everyone else.
Already?
Yes, I would love to know which one is definitely in your top 3. The Sony phone. Should have seen that one coming. All right, let's eliminate the rest except for 2 more. So that way we have our top 3.
Oh, that's really tough.
No, I wouldn't use it.
Okay.
I like the idea of it. I'm just not into the execution of it.
It's totally fine. We'll move this one to the side then.
So this one I was really interested in, but then whenever we took the photo, it was super low quality, and that's a deal breaker for me, even though I think it's a really cool phone, and no, it's a deal breaker.
Okay, then how about we look at it on this phone, because this one has a better camera.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite good. These 2 feel very similar. This one's just smaller.
The Pixel XL is definitely, a little bit bigger.
People keep telling me that I should get a Pixel. Let's put that into the
top 3.
Top
cool.
3.
I think if I'm gonna get rid of one more, it'd probably be that one.
Wow, okay. The Ultra Boy is gone. So we're down to our Google Flip, our Nothing phone, and then our Z Flip here.
Can I say another phone that I want to keep?
Sure. Which one do you want?
This?
The Fold.
The Fold.
Interesting.
Because I always wanted to try Fold.
Okay.
And I wish iPhone has a Fold version.
These were the 2 that are definitely, this was the most iPhone-y one.
Yeah.
And then this was the one you picked up and said felt the most iPhone.
This one feels like it in a physical sense. So let's pick that one and put these guys away.
We have our top 3. I need one more, Andy. One more is your final for your top 3.
Sorry, I'm OnePlus and Oppo.
Oh, they're gone. The iPhonies.
Yeah, I'm like switching to Android. I want Android. Out of like these 4, this one makes the most sense. Like, if I'm like purchasing it.
You're gonna do camera comparison. Okay.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Wow, okay, there you go. It was the down to the camera is what it was. So our top three, you have the Pixel 9 XL, and then obviously the Pixel Fold, and then the Sony phone. I now need you to organize them from favorite to least favorite. So you're gonna move the number 1 over here, number 2, and then your number 3.
I think I'm gonna do this.
So this one would be your first pick. If somehow this gets taken, this would be your second pick, and so forth.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're locking it in?
Yes, let's lock it in.
It's a tough decision, but which one's your favorite, or which one's your least favorite, if that helps make it easier?
I feel like that one's going to end up being
At 3,
Yeah.
right? Really
The real question between these two is, like, do I want a gigantic screen, or do I want a small form factor phone? I don't think I need a small form factor phone.
See, knowing you, I feel like you could benefit more from the
more
Fold
screen space.
because you're going to be able to, whether it's opening up some sort of drawing to show a client on a show floor, whether it's you get something emailed to you that you're like, I want to look at really quick in detail. The screen resolution is great, 120 hertz still. It's an 8-inch screen. It's massive. I think that would be the
Tablet in your
best.
pocket, essentially, which is pretty sick. I think if I was going to have to pick, it would probably be in this order.
Cool. So Fold, the Flip, and then the nothing phone. You're locking that in?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I will.
I want you to organize it by 1, 2, and 3 because if someone else had picked some of these phones,
which they have probably,
possibly, but let's just say someone had put this as their number 1.
Yeah.
So you put it as your number 1 and like this, you would get the Sony because they've already picked it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you organize it how you want, and then we will find out once everyone's gone which your phone is.
I think I actually
This exact order?
made it. Okay.
You're locking it in?
Locking it in.
Cool. See you in a bit.
I predict that I'm gonna have difficulty between all of my Apple products because at the moment that's something I'm using a lot.
I predict that I'm going to swap over pretty quick. I've been kind of meaning to try to swap for a while, and the main thing was just doing the initial transition. After that, I think it's going to be pretty easy.
I predict that I'm probably going to switch back because, you know, the amount of like Apple devices that I have at home, I really enjoy just, you know, that I can send my music to anywhere in my home, that kind of like feeling. I'm pretty sure Android can do that, but I'm just, you know, so used to the ecosystem.
Online and make this an open experiment and just let people follow along. Like that's the way we should like roll this out into the world. And so Kate is a wonderful human. I have thoroughly enjoyed working with her.
The protocols, the measurements, the recipes, the supplements, we published it all on my website. And this journalist I knew, Ashley Vance, saw this and expressed interest in doing a profile on Blueprint.
Brian put all of his stuff online. I was like, all right, this guy's somewhere between off and like very interesting.
The night before the article went live on Bloomberg, Ashley had done some fact checking. There were a few things that were uncomfortable in there. For example, like he had this piece about my father, that my father had some challenges when I was a kid, including drug use and other things, and he wasn't present. I had never been public about that. And so that was just like this huge thing between myself and with my dad. I had covered other elements of the story around everything I was doing medically, and I just hadn't been public. I mean, we put these on the website, but not in a publication of that status. And so I just had no idea how the world would view it. And I wondered if this went out, if it was gonna be like, gonna crush my reputation and the situation. And so the night before it came out, I was like, what have we done? Like this is
people, you spoke about people being retired, okay, and you spoke about them for the last 20 odd years having the great time. They're the ones that have worked, paid tax, put things away, less debt than anyone else, and they've worked hard.
You know, I know it's an important way of saving, but I do think that the idea that older people are getting a short shrift is just untrue. You know, the retirees, which is a more accurate term than pensioners, retirees have benefited enormously in the last 2 decades. 27% of retirees are worth more than £1 million. The age group in society that has gained the most wealth since 2010 is people that are now retired. And that is quite shocking. It's never happened before in industrialised Britain that the people at the end of their life have been gaining more than people working. It's completely unsustainable. And a lot of that boils down to house prices, which is at the centre of most of our economic problems, in my view, because you have a situation whereby now a graduate on an excellent salary, a very high salary of 60, 70, 80 grand in a relationship can barely afford to buy a house that someone who was poor 100 years would have lived in. And when you've got a situation like that, you have to start to do things to address the direction of the money.
It always comes down to you not being able to buy a house.
Yes, it does. It does actually. And most people under 40, you know, in London, the average age to be a first-time buyer, do you know what it is?
You're not London.
No, hang on. No, answer the question first. Well, here's the thing. You know, if young people go where the jobs are, they're to be entrepreneurial, they move to cities. And you can tell me about London, but Bristol, Edinburgh, Manchester are all particularly expensive now, not that far off London. And so, to answer my question, the average first-time buyer in London is 39. You have to start to address these problems, and I think older people downsizing would be one answer.
Okay, well, you're not going to address these problems by, well, that's a tax-free allowance on ISAs, because that's what it is. It's a tax-free allowance at the moment, and Rachel's got her eye on that. Yeah, I would say you've taken the conversation completely off piece, actually, Benjamin. I mean, these 27% of retirees being millionaires is underpinned by the house market, and they're probably sitting on houses, and that's quite artificial, because that's not transferred. It's not transferred across the country, okay? There's not a lot of that 27% living in Scotland, for instance, or Wales, or even Northern Ireland, where house prices are dramatically less than they are in London. And GP News, of course, is the People's Channel, and we need to address this fact. Now, I think it's very abhorrent on Rachel Reeves to do what she's doing. I nicknamed Keir Starmer the Granny Embalmer, and with the assisted dying bill set to go through as well, and the
Enough training. It's time.
Think of it this way. The more radianites we take from them, the less I borrow from all of you. Extra incentive.
Gun here.
Show me a target. Stopping fire.
Spike planted. Hello. What's your wish?
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Cage triggered. You forget.
Sorry, you wee punk. How'd you pull that off? Keep it up.
Reloading.
Every choice matters. Show me a target. Stopping fire. Breaking them.
One enemy remaining.
Will they try the same old tricks?
Focusing. Making cover.
Enemy spotted A. Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Drop in a smoke.
I have the spike.
Team Ace.
If they try something, I'll see it.
Dude, stop staring at nothing. Try, brother.
Alright, muckers. Off we go.
Focusing. 走好。
Last player standing.
Fucking hell.
Such a bad idea. Like, we should never have gone through a big publication. It's better to kind of be quiet. And so going to bed that night, I thought, I think it's probably bad. Turned out to be great, but it was a really big shift in my thinking of what could be shared, how it could be shared. It changed the aperture of how I understood what could be shared. And everything I thought that I was worried about was like, it worked. So that was like a big moment for me of encouraging me to be open, and even more open. Everything. You want to share, even if the energy is bad, negative. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. Just share and get the energy.
That's all they get.
Here.
Show me a target.
Good shot.
I have
Lucky
retrieved
sight.
the spike.
Making cover. Destabilizing.
Who's next?
Fuck off, cunt.
Last player standing.
And so that was a big turning point for me to build my intuitions and how to build this thing.
Last player standing.
Yeah, I think I need to.
Oh, this scene. The nudes.
Yeah.
I'm in my living room, naked.
Wow, that's so shocking. So hopefully it captures the new zeitgeist that we're after.
Damage.
My poor son. He comes home and he never knows what's going to be happening here.
Like, that is so wacky. You know, like, in any time of my life, if you would have told me I would be naked in my front room with my coworkers present and somebody taking pictures of me, I would not have believed you. That is not in my future, but, like, there I am, and, like, fully into it. So, like, just the wildness. Like, once it went viral, we're just like, let's play. And this goes back to the thing of, like, what can you say? Like, how far can you push things? We were playing with you know, like, nudity of, like,
Focus.
Enemy mid.
we're showing, like, basically, it's like I'm posting my biomarkers. I'm showing.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down mid.
I have retrieved the spike.
Get out of my way.
Everyone hiding.
Enemy spotted A. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, quick break.
I'm ready. I need a gun. Thank you.
You want to play? Let's play.
Show me a target. No distractions.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Oh, fuck.
It's mid.
Just go ripped. Damn.
If I may, I'll go in first. Thin out their numbers. Focusing. Stop the fire.
One up in heaven, up in heaven.
Three.
One enemy remaining.
Should be screaming.
Teleport's ready. These new friends of ours are not too friendly.
Reloading. Reloading.
I need a gun. Thank you.
Merci.
Focusing.
Enemy spotted A. Blocking sight.
had your fun. My turn.
One enemy remaining.
Dropped on.
Trap destroyed. Here. Camera taken out. Watching here. I hate visiting underground doctors.
Yous don't get a reset button, so stay alive.
Reloading. Reloading.
Good luck. Show me a target.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Stay down.
Watching here.
Dropping a smoke.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Here.
About to pin, but
Back like I never left.
One enemy remaining.
That was their best. Huh. All right. Oh, this reminds me of this one time where I, actually, never mind.
Focusing. Stopping fire. Destabilized. Breaking them.
Blocking sight.
Who's next? Tripwire destroyed. No hard feelings.
Heaven.
Last player standing.
Teleport's ready.
30 seconds left.
That works. Spike planted. They found my trap.
You wonder what they do with all the stuff you pick up for them?
That's not my job.
No, but you never wonder?
No, it's the CIA. I gotta trust that they'll make the right call. Maybe it's better not to know. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Charlie, I think you need to see this.
What is this?
Last round before
Your
the
wife
switch.
has been killed.
Buy the best guns you can.
What you do is very important to what we do. Let us handle this.
I want mission-specific training, cash, and a new identity.
Have you lost your mind?
I want to find and kill the people who murdered my wife.
Who needs a buy?
I need a gun.
Get out of my way!
Show me a target.
Dropping smokes.
Here. My ult is ready. No distractions.
Bro, what?
Here. Here. Camera taken.
Spike planted.
Block the sight.
I see someone.
One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready.
Here. I would apologize to them.
I don't think you could beat a 90-year-old nun in an arm wrestling match.
I'm gonna face my wife's killers. Look
Switching
them in the
sides.
eyes. And balance the scale.
Where will they go this
Look them in the eyes. And balance the scales.
Take it! Point it at my chest! Do it now! Put your finger on the trigger. You can't do what I do no matter how much I train you. You're just not a killer, Charlie. You're just a nerdy fella that works hard. On computers. What you doing? Just gonna kill you.
Do you ever account for the things I'm good at? You held a gun to my wife's head.
This is business.
This is a remote that controls a device that's been decompressing the glass beneath you. You have the wrong person. No.
Show me
I'm exactly the right person.
We got a ping in Rome.
He's in London. He just got on a bus in Prague. He practically invented half of our surveillance. Who do you always judge this individual?
Spike planted.
This ends here.
Last player standing.
You recognize her?
You jump really fast. You might survive the glass. Right!
Breathe. Then commit.
There's a lot to like about downtown. The sights. The sounds. The crowd. The madness. But the best part about downtown is leaving downtown. Because this is my...
Enemy spotted. Night night. Enemy spotted B.
Focusing.
Both like main or link. Both coming in.
One enemy remaining.
Reload.
Thrifty.
You think I don't know how to get by without money? Reloading.
Alright, lucky socks. Don't fail me now.
My kind of madness. My kind of crowd. My kind of sounds. My kind of sights.
I love this sport.
And my kind of...
Enemy A. Enemies A.
Focusing.
One tap
out.
Lock in sight.
Last player standing.
Living.
Mudding out your merry living.
Spike planted.
Oh, there you are. How was your first day out of rehab?
It was terrible. Taking that class made no difference. Nobody wants anything to do with me. Hi, Mr. Herbert.
Oh my God! Children, run! It's that pervert! Everybody in the safety basement! Oh, that was a bad sniff. I'm hurt, kids. Don't eat those popsicles till I get down there.
Give me a moment.
Hey, Chris. I see you walked across the grass again instead of using the walk. You're really wearing a path, aren't you? We call that Chris's Trail, right there. Chris's Trail.
Mr. Quagmire, I completed that sex rehab and I paid my debt to society, but people are still afraid of me, like I'm some kind of creep. How do I get them to treat me the way they did before all this happened?
You can't.
Must be.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
There they are. Showing me a target. Making cover.
Reloading.
Can't. I'm sorry, Chris, but you're just gonna have to accept it. From now on, people are gonna see you as a sex-crazed pervert. There's nothing you can do to change that.
Last player standing.
Maybe there is.
Flawless.
Thanks, Mr. Quagmire.
No problem, Chris. You keep that chin up, huh?
I will. Hey, can I ring your doorbell?
No, I'd rather you... That's why
Forgive
no,
me if
Chris.
I overextend.
That's why no.
What happened?
Chris, what the hell happened to you?
Mother, father, I decided to have myself chemically castrated.
Wait, how would you do that?
Now nobody will have any reason to be afraid of me or think I'm a pervert, and everybody can just treat me like normal again.
Oh my God, I can't believe my son's some kind of weirdo. Oh, here comes another sandwich. I can't even look at you. Oh, here comes another sandwich. I can't even look at you.
Saw that coming.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Spike spotted A.
Nice gripping.
How'd you know I'd be here?
Because you go mudding when you're happy and you come here when you can blow off steam.
Gosh, you can handle a pistol. Do me a favor, please, and just
We
leave
know
me alone.
more than we did before.
Need a drop.
Let's use that.
Need a drop.
How do you...
Connecticut Junior Pistol Championship finalist, 3 years in a row.
What years?
Ask me that again, and I will use this on you.
Is there anything you can't do?
No, there isn't. Including talking Harvey into getting you another job.
So where is it this time? Cincinnati, Minneapolis, Anchorage, Alaska? Sheila,
Yes, Sheila.
you got Harvey to do this, right?
I got him to give you his word he will do it, but after you turn down Cincinnati, he's not going to make the call unless you say you're on board.
Focusing. No distractions.
One enemy
Well
remaining.
fought.
Spike down B.
One bullet per enemy. That should be enough, yes?
Ward.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Donna, Sheila values strength. She's gonna see this as me coming to her at a time of weakness.
Lewis, you go to Boston with the sole purpose of being with her, she's going to see that as a sign of love.
Tell them to make the call.
Roll for initiative.
You want
Get
to
out of my
play?
way.
Let's play.
Focusing.
Help.
Here.
After they come.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Drop in a smoke.
Okay, Kyle, I think the question you have to ask is where do I see myself in 10 years? And unfortunately, the answer is not as a Harvard graduate.
Teleport's ready.
And unfortunately, see myself in... Okay, Kyle, I think the question you have to ask is where do I see myself in 10 years? And unfortunately, the answer is not...
Last player standing.
You knew not to trust me.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to take you back.
I don't understand the way we left.
We're doing
I'm
good.
back for
Let's do
good.
better.
Not a day has gone by that I haven't thought of you. I can't hold it back anymore. Sheila, I love you. And I want us to be together.
Lewis, this is wonderful, but it's just a lot to take in. To believe that you're really ready to commit.
How's this for ready? I'm taking a job in Boston.
What?
I quit Pearson Spector.
I can't believe it. You did all that for me.
Good work. Don't screw it up.
Show me a target.
Multiple enemies spotted.
Destabilize.
No peeking. Bye.
You had your fun. My turn.
3.
Gecko and like 2 people. One CT, one vent.
A brand new $400 million drilling rig.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Lewis, did you make that decision before or after you quit your job? It makes a huge difference. You don't call for 6 months and then one day you wake up, quit your job, and suddenly I'm supposed to fill a hole in your life?
No, it's not like that.
Okay, then what is it?
I mean, do you know how hard it was for me to not call you? I was trying to move on.
And why didn't you move on?
Because I realized that I don't need New York. I need you.
Lewis, geography was the least of our problems.
No, I know. And I want you to know.
One enemy
You
remaining.
don't come around on children.
Drop.
I don't want them, and I'm not going to change my mind.
You don't have to because I've changed mine.
Okay, and I believe that you believe that.
Well, if you, I'm just sensing that you don't know where I'm.
When I asked you at first, I was asking because if I believed that you were really ready to give up children, I would run into your arms and never let go. But if you're doing this because you're down and out,
That's just it. Do you understand that I was going to change my entire work schedule weeks ago for you? Before all this.
you were going to. But you didn't.
Sheila, please. You have to understand where I'm.
It was good to see you, Lewis. Please go.
Take them one by one.
What is it?
Watch this.
Who's next?
Show me a target.
One health.
Dude, I can't do anything.
Where is everyone hiding?
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Rig has to go from South Korea to you.
Weapon choice. It is so personal, no? You pick a gun and it tells me who you are.
Hey, Dad, I was wondering if you wanted to go to... Oh, hello, sir.
What?
Nothing. You look good. You look way younger.
What are you trying to say?
You look good. Like Vin Diesel.
Oh, shite, I lost my pet rock.
I have family.
All them.
you're going out drinking, bring your ID.
It might go back.
Oh my goodness, little boy, what are you doing all by yourself?
Camera
Where are you
taken out.
going?
Why are you talking like that? What accent are you doing? Is it like Chinese or something?
Are you scared? Are you alone? We could try and find a way to control my hand.
Spike planted.
Yeah.
Here.
One health.
Piss off, lady.
Oh my goodness, someone shot him. He's all by himself. He's gonna get run over. Help!
Hey, little boy.
Someone is
What are you
being-
doing all alone? Where are your parents at? I come here all the time.
Drop in a smoke.
Hey, what are you doing by yourself?
Who do you want?
One enemy remaining.
No.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Get lost, weirdo.
Well, I guess I gotta go
Match
feed my
point.
dog, Bluey, now.
End this.
You know Bluey from the show?
Need a drop.
What, the actual Bluey?
Yeah, the actual Bluey. Come on, little boy.
I need a
Yeah.
gun. Thank
Come
you.
on.
God, don't touch me. Listen here. I am a 57-year-old man. I have children of my own. Predators like you make me sick.
I know.
What?
I know you're 57 years old. I just wanted to make a new friend. It's because of how I dress. I can't help it that I like to wear my puppy's jacket. It's all that I have left
Time's
of
up.
him.
Let's go.
I'm sorry.
Save it. You know, I'm sick of people like you judging me for what I wear.
You want to play? Let's play.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Wait, I must wait a moment.
I'm just.
I must wait a moment. Cage trigger.
Spike down.
I think fire is the concept that retirement is not an age. A lot of us go through this world thinking that when you turn 65, something magical is going to happen and you get to retire. And that's not true. Because if you don't make
Last
money,
player
you
standing.
can't stop working when you're 65.
Spike
And on
planted.
the flip side of that, you don't need to wait until you're 65 either. If you have enough money, you can retire at 55 or 45 or 36 like I did. And so it's just kind of turning this whole idea of traditional retirement age on its head. My name is Jeremy.
One enemy remaining.
Where is everyone hiding? My ultimate is ready.
I grew up in southeast Michigan outside of Detroit. My parents were kind of middle class. Went to the college at the University of Michigan. I studied computer science. I was in college from 1998 to 2002 when the dot-com boom was happening. And I would see these young people 50 years older than me who were making millions with tech startups. And it inspired me to start young. And then as I was graduating from Michigan, I turned down a job offer from Microsoft to start my own internet company.
Which gun to pick this time?
But I recorded my bank account the moment the wire came through. I clicked refresh and it jumped from $100,000 or so to over $2 million, which was pretty surreal. And it was very jumped from the wire came through. I recorded my bank account the
Why is it?
Show me a target.
Spike down A.
Timing.
One enemy remaining.
Ult is ready.
Defenders win.
Think about that one, alright?
the moment the wire came through, I clicked refresh and it jumped from $100,000 or so to over $2 million, which was pretty surreal. And it was very abstract. I didn't really know how much money that was. The day after the company sold, I was suddenly in integration mode with this very nice company that gave me millions of dollars. It was an especially busy time, and so I couldn't just like ditch and head to Fiji. I just saw that as like a finish line, that when I sold the company and made millions, I would just like be on this beach. I was talking to the CEO of the company that bought our company, and I told him that vision. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be on the beach. And he asked me, what are you gonna do when you get back? And what he meant was, you can't spend your life on a beach. You know, I mean, you could, but that's kind of a crappy life. So I guess it dawned on me that I couldn't just like spend the rest of my day sitting monetized on the beach, because I had dollars and a new 401k with my new company that's got about $15,000. The other $3 million or so is all in a taxable account, just because it didn't fit in the tax advantage accounts.
31,000 tons, pulled by just a single gun.
die young, man.
If I die at your bar, you can fill my organs to pay my tab.
I don't think they're worth what they used to be.
No. I can't. I just can't run anymore. I'm done.
Just name your price then. I can give you your life back. I can clear your name. Just need you to get to the airport. If you want what I'm offering, you need to be on it. We're tracking a high-value target. I need you to take them into custody alive.
There isn't a country in the Western Hemisphere that doesn't have a bounty on Ghost's head. You think you're gonna take my bounty?
Are you telling me that plane is full of killers?
You're looking for someone that's on this plane.
And you don't know which passenger you're looking for.
They have your photo.
Who does?
Everybody does. What is going on? Who's killing me?
Did we just put a paranoid psychopath in the mix?
Oh, yeah.
Need you to liquidate our position in Coral Pharmaceuticals at the open.
Like, fuck you, do. It's my DB stock P of the year.
That's made 9%. That's solid, but I need to free up some cash. I need the cash to lever up to buy 5 bill worth of washer dryers. I'll send you a few other positions to dump out.
Tell me I'm not fucking crazy. Correct on this one.
What's this? A fucking ambush?
It's an intervention. You can't do this to dump out.
If you proceed to buy this company, you'll be outside all risk parameters and in violation of X Capital's bylaws.
Not to mention the opportunity cost. Exiting these positions now could be a 10-figure mistake.
And the main company isn't juicy enough to squeeze that out.
You'd be lucky if sales is even standing after another round of Taylor's attacks.
You all fucking done? I set the risk parameters, Spiros. So push that. They're my bylaws. I can change it. I just did. Pay for that, Oren. You don't like me selling out your positions? Tough shit. They aren't your positions anyway. They're mine. And if you can't find a way to pick up the returns, then why the fuck are you here instead of someone who can? I need you to liquidate our position in Coral Pharmaceuticals at the open.
Like, fuck you, do. It's my DB stock P of the year.
Yeah, it's made 9%. That's solid, but I need to free up some cash. And I need the cash to lever up to buy 5 bill worth of washer dryers. I'll see.
Like to apply for a small business loan?
And what's your business?
I bake cakes in the shape of different celebrities' faces. So what do you think?
I think yes.
I want to start an organic fertilizer distribution business.
What do you need?
Oh, it's a Ducati.
Nice ride.
I need you for a second. Guy from corporate's here. He wants to talk to you. I think it's about all those loans you've been approving.
Carl, every 2 months, the typical loan officer approves 35 to 40 loans. You have given out 561.
So a little more than average then.
$250 loan for a mountain bike, $600 for windsurfing lessons. You know, at first I thought you might be raiding our coffers.
I would never do that.
But then I looked closer. These people are so grateful to have their needs met. More than 98% of them are following through with the payments. We're actually making a lot of money. Carl?
I'm a little dizzy.
What's happening? First bit of movement from Lauren, just a slight adjustment.
What's happening?
Trying to keep from going numb, probably.
She's about to pass out.
See anything? I'm about to black out.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Medical. Why do you wait to run over? She announced it.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Lauren
Lauren passed out. Just keep going.
Just keep going. She's got people around her, Vic.
He's okay.
Yeah, so this is probably a vasovagal reaction, or not enough circulation's going to her brain. She's probably gonna come to real quick.
Lauren, he just fainted.
Yep.
Damn it.
It's like, I didn't get the golden buzzer, or whatever they have on this show.
Yesterday, a piece of sand got in my eye, and I guess I scratched my eye.
Oh, corneal abrasion is so painful. The cornea has some of the most nerve fibers in the entire human body, like concentration-wise. Tearing, visual difficulties, pain, 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 pain.
It got swollen, and I couldn't sleep at night.
Oh, that's an infection. My man needs antibiotics.
The first thing I'm going to do is try and have a look inside your eye.
So the way that we do this, in order to do an exam for a corneal abrasion, is we put a fluorescent stain. We put this like little thing on the edge of the eye. It puts a stain in. You just have to be really careful because it could permanently stain contacts and clothes. And then we either use a woods lamp to light up the eye, a pen with a blue filter, or a proper way to do it is a slit lamp exam. You can see if there's any corneal abrasions there based on where the deposits of the fluorescent stain go.
What I need to rule out is that he hasn't got an abrasion abnormality on his cornea, which is the clear part that covers his eye. So the only way to do that is to put in an orange dye, and I'm able to see things more clearly.
Okay, so that's a fluorescent strip. Basically, when you put it at the edge of the eye, it makes the eye really orangey and yellow.
It actually looks like there is what I would call a divot in his cornea.
Oh, that's a problem.
Is there something we can do out here?
No.
Unfortunately not.
Antibiotics, anti-inflammatories.
You okay?
Oh, what happened?
Oh my god!
He's burnt. He's burnt pretty bad, Terry.
He burned? How did he burn himself? Oh.
Passed out. Passed out. Fell in the fire. Stay in the water. Stay in the water.
He fell into the fire?
I was blowing on the fire, the smoke was right in my face, and I inhaled it.
There must have been some toxic fumes there, because smoke inhalation for a short period of time is rarely strong enough to cause you to pass out instantly. The only way that can happen is there's some kind of chemical process going on, like something burning, causing a poison sensation. When you're around a fire, there's a few things that can happen that can cause you to not get enough oxygen. A, fire essentially burns and eats up all that oxygen, so it can cause you to asphyxiate. Also, when you're burning something, you naturally create carbon monoxide, which when you inhale, actually binds with the hemoglobin in your blood, which normally carries oxygen, and competes with the oxygen that you're also inhaling to bind to that hemoglobin, forming carboxyhemoglobin. And then that circulates through your body, not giving your tissues the oxygen that it needs. And as a result, you can die from carbon monoxide poisoning. We've seen that time and time again. And the way to reverse that is by giving a patient a ton of oxygen to sort of outcompete that carbon monoxide that is already floating around in the blood trying to bind to the hemoglobin. Another thing obviously that can happen is like a chemical burn of your trachea. And that's really problematic. You need a breathing tube for that.
Oh, my.
Oh!
I can't decide whether I should keep trying to defend them or not.
Okay, so burning of the hands is that's really problematic. You need a breathing tube.
Match found.
Oh! Trachea. And that's really problematic. You need a breathing tube for that. Oh!
I can't decide whether I should keep trying to defend them or not.
Problematic. You need a breathing tube for that.
Enough training.
Oh!
I can't decide whether I should keep trying to defend them or not.
Okay, so burning of the hands is a very big problem. I mean, obviously, a lot of nerve fibers on your fingers and hands in order for you to feel the world around you. As a result, that means it's going to hurt a ton more. And then on top of it, because of the way burns heal on this area specifically, you form contractures. So you're usually going to need multiple surgeries or procedures to keep those contractures from forming.
I'll take whatever you give me. I'll take the pain without drugs. I'll do whatever you guys say. Breathe. When you breathe.
Oh, look, that's the pen. That's the pen we saw in Bondi Beach. How did they do this before we had pain control? That's all I think about.
I'm actually worried. I'm not sure, but I think I got a bug in my ear.
Oh, that's why we have earwax.
But instead of crawling out, it is getting deeper in my ear.
Well, it's not getting deeper. Like, there's no real place for it to go. It's not gonna crawl into your eustachian tube.
I can't.
Dinna ken what they're on about, but I can promise them, Radianite will not solve their problems. Could I have a drop?
Careful here. Spike planted. Last player standing.
One triple.
Teleport's ready. One less. Do not let my double shoot you. You will die.
Right here. No peeking.
Focus.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
Last player standing.
Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well give them
Could
to
I have a
me.
drop? Thank you.
Enemy down.
No peeking.
Show me a target.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Not ready yet.
No peeking.
They don't have a single life worth saving.
Could I have a drop?
Thank you. Oh my god.
He's burned pretty bad there.
Oh my god.
He's burned pretty bad
We've
there.
been through worse.
What happened?
Focus. Breaking them. Got one.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
You know, I could just stay with them.
What did he think?
I can't decide whether I should keep trying
Could I have a drop?
distraction.
Help me. Someone hold this. Chloe, please hold it for me.
Last player standing.
Don't. You're good. I'll pay my charge. They're coming right now. Just leave your sword
Forgive
right
me
where
if
you
I
are.
overextend. Old habit.
Don't even look at him. Don't even look at him. If they get him, wrap him up.
Alright, you guys just tell me what to do.
Work.
Over there.
Spike planted.
I got a big inhalation smoke. I passed out the flare. You can shoot me, you can shot, run, save. I can take it. I'll take whatever you give me. I'll take the pain without strike. I'll do whatever you guys say. I don't care. You didn't.
Last player standing.
Mike, people get it cold, Chris is around tonight. You're taking the food, Mike.
Brace full space out.
Right? Excellent. One for the other arm. Your other arm. Pull me there, Mike. You all get it? Hang on, all right, you guys just tell me what to do.
You want to play? Let's play.
Got him. My ult's ready.
Show me a target.
Spike down B.
Spike spotted.
Breaking them.
One enemy
Who
remaining.
else?
Stands in the hearing to determine if a former survivor can stand trial. Open count. Michael Scoop, white light, charged with child pornography and
Now we
running out of
start a
Ponzi
winning streak of our
Investigators say they
own,
found child
eh?
porn on his computer while they were digging for evidence in the alleged Ponzi scheme. Witnesses who testified today say they invested in Scoop in so-called pay-it-forward program, but they never got anything in return.
When we first talked, he did mention, at first because I didn't want to do it, he's like, if it doesn't work, you can get your money back. So after a little while, contacting me to get hold of him, I did want my money back.
Did you ask for your money?
Yes.
I love this part.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
From Sean.
Focusing.
Are we not watching showers or?
Spike planted. Last player standing.
I'm the last thing they'll see before they die. Lucky them.
Could I have a drop? Thanks.
hookah. Come towards B.
Dropping a smoke.
What the fuck?
No peeking.
Show me a target. Destabilizing.
You had your fun. My turn.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Fuck.
I don't even know if that was an NT, bro.
Just let them try to catch me.
Spike down A.
Back like I never left.
One enemy remaining.
Aye, we're good. Could I have a drop? Thank you.
I need a gun. Thank you. Focusing. No distraction.
One sec.
Enemy dropping a smoke.
Spike down B. Last player standing. Spike planted.
Cutting their vision.
Last round before the switch.
User credits. They're doing the same.
You want to play? Let's play.
Monster on the loose.
Hey, on it.
Show me a target. Try again.
Spike planted.
Destabilize.
Sick.
Last player standing.
Who's next?
Switching sides.
Trust me, they will make mistakes. When they do, take advantage.
Let's go.
Show me stopping fire.
Reloading.
Planted. Pew pew. Refreshing.
Last player standing. Team Ace.
Stay alive. I want their life, not yours.
Okay. Focusing.
Spike down B. Last player standing. Match point.
What do we learn by fighting ourselves?
Could I have a drop? Thanks.
Thinking out loud.
Let's crack them open.
Focusing. Stopping fire.
Not ready yet.
Last player standing. Spike down B. Defenders win.
said it was $1,000 that he never saw again. The hearing is adjourned until next week, when the child pornography charge is expected to be addressed. Skupin, who...
Sleep. I can't get comfortable. It's just disgusting hearing.
And it usually sets your temperature to around 98 degrees Fahrenheit. 98.6 is the typical norm that we use, but it does fluctuate a degree or two. When you're in this position, your temperature starts going up, and not because of your hypothalamus, and you lose the ability to cool yourself, likely because you're dehydrated, likely because you've tried to sweat and it's been inefficient. So as a result, your organs can start failing, your brain can stop functioning, you can go into a coma. Like, heat stroke is one of the deadliest parts of being outdoors. And usually it's accentuated by activity, so strenuous activity, like being on the show Survivor.
Dude, we got some water coming. Hang in there, all right?
The first thing you'd want to do is obviously give water. With water, you're able to sweat, and when you're sweating, you can evaporate that liquid, and then as a result, cool your body off. Because remember, when evaporation occurs, the surface of the skin does cool down. Which is what they're doing.
Good buddy, you're in really good hands.
I want someone to do some vitals on him, like check his vitals. I need to know what his pulse is, what his blood pressure is. I need to know if he's neurologically intact.
So Joe, you're giving him fluids to rehydrate and what? We're gonna give Caleb some intravenous fluids to try and bring his temperature down.
Fluids internally that are cold will actually speed up the cooling process. Now, something we do with patients, whenever we cool them down with a solution like that or spraying them with cold water, the body's natural reaction sometimes is to shiver, which increases the temperature. And this is not a time you want that to happen. So we would actually give a patient a muscle relaxer, like a benzodiazepine, to help calm them down, to decrease that shiver response in order to allow us to
Hey Taylor, it's me, Elon again. Wish you would stop ignoring my tweets. I think actually like quite special. Should probably seriously, my tweets. I think actually like quite special. Should probably seriously, consider, having babies with me. Yeah, because your eggs are going bad. Eggs are so expensive now. Your eggs are about to expire. So yeah, I think Taylor, you should probably act swiftly. And actually, Augie, your current partner, probably has CTE, brain injury from all the football he's been playing, and he committed suicide. Just probably worth knowing. Understand, you have like a lot of exes, but you have like a space ex. I could be like, your ex from outer space. I can take you to Mars. Also, you got really good genes. Like, Scandinavian, white, white and blonde, tall, blue eyes. So yeah, obviously like you to smell my musk. Yeah.
In the early morning off the coast of Singapore, an outdated, rusty...
There she is. West Tower observation post. You're home for the next 365 days. There is no outside communication here.
What's that on the other side?
That is East Tower. Contact with the other side is strictly forbidden.
So what's the mission? To keep people from going in the gorge?
No. You need to stop us in the gorge from coming out.
What the hell is that?
The gorge is the door to hell. And we're standing guard at the gate.
What's the truth about this place? What's the truth about the gorge?
Evil.
I've just come out of the hospital.
My mum don't drive yet, alright? They've just basically told me that it's inoperable now. Surgery didn't work. No one knows how long I've got left now. And that's that. This is probably going to be the hardest video I've ever done. For many reasons.
The bulk freighter welcomes on board a small group of individuals who will be relieving the current crew of duty. The ship has been sold by a European shipping company to what is known in the industry as simply a cash buyer, a convenient third party that will let the major public shipping company feign ignorance about where the ship is going to end up. By the end of the week. The handover only takes a few hours. The old crew departs and catches a plane from Changi International Airport back to their home countries, and the new skeleton crew gets to work setting the ship up for what will be its final voyage. The tanks are filled with just enough bunker fuel to make the short journey up the Malacca Strait to the Indian Ocean, where the ship will meet its final resting place here on the mudflats of Al Lang, the largest shipbreaking yard in the world. During its roughly 3-day final journey, the cash buyer company will submit paperwork to change the ship's flag states from Greece to St. Kitts and Nevis. They do this because what's about to happen, while not technically illegal, is heavily frowned upon by most of the world's governments. An investigation by Finance Uncovered showed how ships normally sail under a flag of convenience from countries that give them generous tax breaks and don't regulate staff pay as much as in the countries the shipping companies actually operate in. The Taiwanese shipping company Evergreen runs one of the largest merchant fleets in the world, including the Evergiven, the ship that did such a bad job of parking it wiped 1% off global GDP. Taiwan places heavy restrictions on how ships can be managed and how much their crew must be paid, so almost all the ships in the company's fleet are actually registered in Panama, a country that, within reason, simply doesn't care how its ships are run as long as the registration fees are paid. Just like companies pick a flag of convenience for the life of the ship, the scrappers also pick a flag of convenience for the death of the ship. Panama is, again, a popular choice, but the same investigation found that St. Kitts and Nevis, Liberia, and Comoros offer special packages to these companies and don't even require a shell company to be set up to register the ships as long as they're not on the books for more than a month, which they won't be. For these extremely poor countries, it's a race to the bottom for a few $1,000 in registration fees they can earn by looking the other way. By the time the paperwork is complete and the registration has been swapped, the ship has completed its short journey and it's now sitting just offshore of Alang. Multiple potential buyers will look over the ship until ultimately a price can be agreed upon by whichever scrapyard presents the best offer. The price varies depending on the type of ship, the current market value of steel, and the size of the ship itself. But a regular freighter like this one will probably fetch around $3 to $6 million US. Something like a cruise liner can fetch more because the extra value of the fittings and furnishings throughout the hull. No matter the ship, the negotiations will be fierce, because while the almost 15-kilometer beach of Al Lang looks like one unified chaotic mess, it's actually broken up into 183 separate lots divided by strictly enforced boundaries and run by dozens of individual scrapyards. Depending on their size, each lot can handle 1 to 4 ships at a time, so the owners of these yards have to be very careful with their deal-making, because once a ship is on their lot, they can't do any further business until it's completely stripped down to make room for the next one. The yards themselves are owned primarily by wealthy Indian families, most of whom try to obfuscate their direct involvement in the yard because of how dirty the business can be, both literally and metaphorically. Once a deal has been made with one of the yards, the skeleton crew wait until high tide to ram the ship up onto the shore. The flat muddy sand of the beach makes it ideal to wedge even the largest and longest of ships in place. In fact, just a few hundred meters down the beach, in the lot owned by Priya Blue Industries, the Seawise Giant, the largest ship and largest moving man-made object in history, was scrapped back in 2009. Other structures like decommissioned oil rigs are also dragged ashore. The Seawise Giant, the largest ship and largest moving man-made object in history, longest of ships in place. In fact, just a few hundred meters down the beach, in the lot owned by Priya Blue Industries, the Seawise Giant, the largest ship and largest moving man-made object in history, was scrapped back in 2009. Other structures like decommissioned oil rigs are also dragged ashore, although since they don't have an engine of their own, they need to be slowly dragged up the beach with huge cables and winches. By comparison, the ship that was picked up in Singapore is a relatively simple beaching. Once the tide goes back out again, the temporary crew can carefully make their way off the ship, across the beach, and to a local airport to go and repeat the process all over again on the next ship. Once they've finished the handoff, an army of scrapyard workers start the process of removing everything of value from the ship before it gets cut up for scrap. Most of the ship's value is now in its scrap steel, but wiring, control panels, furniture, machinery, and other appliances are all removed separately and sold to the hundreds of second-hand dealers that have opened for business in the city that's developed around breaking yards. Thousands of young men from across India move to Al Lang every year to find work in the breaking yards themselves, or in one of the hundreds of businesses that have developed to support this primary industry. No matter exactly where they end up, the conditions these workers endure are nothing short of horrific. Safety standards are non-existent.
Turret out.
No peeking.
Spike down A.
Enemy spotted mid.
They have no smokes. Wait, one's mid, pushing through the door.
No peeking.
It's actually
Hey, I trust you, I've got to hold this door.
Last player standing.
The thick, muddy sand is polluted with oil, PCBs, heavy metals, asbestos, coolant, and other industrial chemicals. Clean drinking water and basic sanitation is not provided. The temperatures on the blackened beaches can reach 50 degrees Celsius, or 122 Fahrenheit. And even basic protective equipment like hard degrees Celsius, or 120. The temperatures on the blackened beaches can reach 50 degrees Celsius, or 122 Fahrenheit. And even basic protective equipment like hard hats or enclosed shoes are not supplied by the yard owners, although workers are welcome to purchase it themselves. Those who aren't killed or injured quickly by falling debris, gas explosions, fires, or heat stroke will die slowly from cancer, mesothelioma, or respiratory.
Hey, very fast.
Drop in a smoke.
Just be careful. Jeff pushed through mid and so he pushed through door mid.
Reload.
So obviously they're gonna rat it.
So they didn't last
Enemy spotted A.
You hold vents to
Three there.
Yeah.
All
three.
I got the right
I
side.
have glove, I'm playing with glove.
Drop in a smoke. Turret out.
They're rotating? Yeah, they're rotating. All of them, all of them, all of them, all of them. All of them are running.
Any guns?
Like, all three, I'm telling you right now, all three went past.
Yeah.
Alright, Clove, you probably like you fucked me, can't lie.
Spike planted.
Enemy spotted B.
That's a kill.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, you clutched up.
Gun
Clove,
here.
I like that.
Can someone grab a gun for me? Just like carry another. Thank you, Jeff.
Thrifty.
Good reruns. Oh, we have Guardians. You just hard hold everything. Random, take my Guardian.
There we go. Finally, cracking their code.
Thanks. You just hard hold
Complications
like
from
every angle
inhaling
possible.
industrial smoke
The
15
hard was
hours
hard
a
all
day. On the shores of Al Lang, there's the same. One ship a day, one life a day. On average, the shore completely disassembles a ship every single day. And well, you can probably work out the rest. Even though these yards are dealing with millions of dollars worth of materials, the margins on salvage are incredibly thin. So corners are cut wherever they can be to increase.
Dropping smokes.
Multiple enemy B.
Blocking sight.
That's actually crazy.
Have one of these.
Sage is gone. Window was not one way.
Grenade is live.
Refreshing.
Enemy spotted.
Bye. Bye. No peeking.
One down.
One with them. Stop, stop,
One
stop.
enemy remaining.
Last drops. Stop,
Spike
stop.
down,
Down.
B.
Hello. Not peeking into them.
Drone going out.
One suppressed.
Nice. Get that off. Yeah, you want that.
My
Nice.
ballistic
Yeah,
setup
dude.
is secure. And if they don't, pues, you can't complain if you're dead.
Increase profits for the lot owners. The most obvious place where that happens, apart from worker safety, is in worker pay. According to investigations, pay on the shipbreaking yards ranges from around $10 a day for experienced workers who get inside the ships with gas axes and cut away parts of the hull, all the way down to just $2 a day for new workers sorting scrap parts by hand. The work is complete.
Glasses, eh? At least 2.
No peeking!
3. I have it set up to hold side.
Back like I never left! Have one of these.
3 here, 3 here, 3 here. I'm 1. Nice. 3 still at man. They're trying to entry, they're trying to entry.
Someone's in attacker spawn.
Nice.
One enemy remaining.
3. My ult's ready.
Nice.
There you are.
There you go, Jet. Look.
It's my duo right there.
Is everyone's tech still working?
Oh, that's right, you're meant to be Mr. Radio or whatever.
Wait, what?
Wait, let's just go 2 people go B, 2 people go A, and Jack and hold mid.
Completely informal, and while some workers may build a relationship with one particular
Two
scrapyard,
go A,
if there are no
two
ships,
B, and
there's no
Jack
work
is
and no pay. Just as there's fierce competition
Wait, where's he
between
at?
the scrapyards along the beach for ships to tear apart, there's
What
equally
about
fierce
you?
competition between
Yeah,
workers
he's
for
the
the
he's the
opportunity to
ready
do
and
the
I
tearing.
can't fucking help.
Although child labor is technically illegal in Aolang and other competing
Alright,
yards
you.
like Chittagong in
Me.
Turret out. Watch this.
Drop in a smoke. Drop in a smoke.
Placing sentry.
One enemy
Target
remaining.
down. Here, catch.
30 seconds left. Last player standing. Ten seconds left.
Bangladesh, it happens all
Swarm
the time.
grenade out.
A 2019 report by law professor at the University of Chittagong found out that 13% of the workers on these yards were under the age of 18. The immense environmental damage, extreme occupational dangers, and child labor violations that are commonplace in these yards are why big shipping companies and flag states try to keep as much distance as possible from these operations. But the reason that there are always ships lined up along these shores is simple. It puts money into all the right places. Workers here make poverty wages, but it's still more than they can make back.
Imagine if I died right now. So funny. Oh.
In their home villages. Most workers send what little money they make back home to their families to buy basic market essentials. $10 a day could be enough to buy a corrugated steel roof, hand tools, a cooking stove, and potentially even a mobile phone plan. All things that would radically improve living standards for a family living off the land in a rural community. The industry also employs far more people than just those working on the beach. The shores of Alang are split into a breaking yard, but directly on the other side of the road from them are hundreds of businesses trading the salvaged items that are stripped from the ships. If the bilge pumps from the rusty old
Something here.
Stay safe. Placing sentry.
When they hit B, Sova does a line up to like the top of to your left. So just prepare for that if they do B.
Dropping smokes.
Yeah, I did that. His footsteps.
Yeah, I hear him.
Adapt or die!
Oh, fuck.
When is it pass?
There's a vice flash above library, just care.
Spike planted.
2 suppressed. Light munition.
One window without wall, one main. 2 box out.
Last player standing.
One window.
They're both main.
Drop in a smoke.
One enemy remaining.
That's 3.
Stick. 100%.
No peeking.
Oh, NT.
Wind, show me where to go.
Can I get this?
You're gonna buy? Jet.
Placing sentry.
$72 and still doing art. It's the same thing, Mum. It's not productive.
No peeking. Get out of my way.
Just be careful, Clove.
This is how it ends.
Confirmed clear.
Are they still man?
Locating targets. Enemy spotted A.
No peeking.
1 suppressed.
Cool.
On cooldown.
Mid comes.
Enemy spotted mid.
On me,
One of
Thomas.
the biggest
Thomas.
misconceptions about retirement is that retirement is not a destination. It's really a new phase of life.
Help.
You will
Both on me.
not kill my
Making
ally.
minimum wage and trying to save as much as you can and counting
They're
every
not gonna
penny
hear me
to
round
Both on
now
me.
being able to spend whatever you want. It's been a journey.
30
I'm
seconds
an
left.
American expat retiree living off of about $185,000.
Spike planted.
I actually decided to retire at 17 years old. I was working at Taco Bell. Believe it or not, at that age,
Still
I was able
rolling
to
outside.
look around at the job market, and I didn't see a lot of people that were happy with work. I learned that it's really important to make sure that you're working and you have your own relationship with work, and you're not doing something that you don't want to do. So in my mind, I always thought that it made the most sense to compress that amount of time in my life, and I set the goal to retire early at 45, which I wound up hitting 6 years earlier than expected.
Placing sentry. Blocking sight. Imagine if I died right now.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
120.
My ultimate is ready.
Oh!
That's insane, nice.
Our MVP.
That I can entertain. And then as far as home, I also require.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
I vote for retake on B, so I'm just gonna play A.
What? December was a unique month for me because I'm on a kind of expat private insurance. I have to pay about $1,600 out of pocket for some medication. My doctor's visits were anywhere from $200 to $300 a piece, so it totaled up to be a lot higher. When it comes to getting around for transit in Dubai, I'm a little bit sad about this as I don't have a car. I use a service here where I get access to a driver, and the driver drives me all around the city.
Turret out.
Dropped in a smoke.
Enemy spotted me.
Spike down mid.
Two more mid, at least. I can hold A solo. Focus mid, guys.
Here!
Drone going out. Drone is down.
Drop in a smoke.
I feel like they're just going B, B's open. don't retake all.
You alright?
Enemy spotted. Mid.
Reyna was just there. Inside.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nice. Backside. Backside, backside. I'm just
Placing sentry.
one backside, one main.
Dropping a smoke down.
30 seconds left.
Placing swarm grenade. Initiated. Swarm grenade
Spike
out.
planted. Last player standing.
What the hell is that?
One enemy
Nice.
remaining.
That's probably close.
All missiles away.
So I pay my floor $600 a month and use that for transportation. The place that I'm currently living in is 2 bedrooms and it's roughly about 900 square feet. It's right off the beach and in a premium area for Dubai. And this place costs about $5,000 per month. How I live now is I'm actually spending a lot more than I typically would. My relationship growing up with money was definitely one of discipline. Without really consciously thinking through it, I chose to save a lot. Now as I've been able to reflect a lot as an adult, also see where I have a scarcity mindset and maybe not a healthy relationship with money in the sense of I wanted to hoard it. Luckily, I've been able to graduate to a place where I'm much more comfortable. I've been opening up the checkbook and spending more.
Turret out.
No peeking.
All missiles away.
Turrets destroyed. Swarm grenade out.
Spike planted.
No peeking.
I didn't get much knowledge on money and investments and things that I'm focused on now. I think my parents coming from lower middle class homes were more so focused on survival, as many people might be. My parents had worked pretty hard in their life, and I just saw the wear and tear that took on them. So I wanted to be careful to not be in a similar situation and have to work and just give all of my life source and energy to a job for the remainder of my life. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but those factors really contributed to me wanting to retire at an early age. Climbing up the corporate ladder was not easy, but I definitely aggressively climbed up the corporate ladder. I moved to Austin, Texas, worked at this amazing startup called InfoChimps, and made a lot of great connections there, and that accelerated me into tech, which later led to IBM, Amazon, Intel, Microsoft, and a few others. So I always kept...
Turret out.
My salary went from about $40,000 to about $60,000 to about $64,000, and then that's when I had one of my bigger jumps.
Can I possibly get a smoke for danger? If they're here.
Sorry, again, sorry.
One mid.
We're gonna clove. Probably manually.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Dropping smokes.
He was window.
Last player standing.
And then after that, I went to north of 1 million.
You can trust my bots. They only malfunction that
Let's go 1A, 1B, 3 mid.
She don't miss that finger.
I'm not fighting mid, so they fight him back.
So when I got the big jump,
I think we need
at
to
most I
swap
may
them
go
on
out and get a
outside,
meal.
'cause
A lot of
it's
times I
like
didn't even
it's
do
all
that. I always remind people that in my head I'm still the guy that's making a minimum wage working at Taco Bell. So when people see these large salaries or ask me, hey, how did it feel to make over $1 million a year? I often tell them, I don't know, it felt like making not quite minimum wage, but also not like making $1 million a year. I would make $1 million a year and I would struggle to spend over $50 on items. was a certain amount of money that I wanted to hit when I retired. Over the years that has changed.
No peeking.
Started off in the low 1.5 million, then it got up to 5 million, then 20 million. And at some point I realized that with what I need in life, I settled on my number, which is around 4 million. Some of the biggest misconceptions about retirement, or at the very least things that people need to know, is that retirement is not a destination. It's really a new phase of life. I want to maximize my life experiences and not keep saving money for the future. Part of retiring was so I could explore my hobbies more. And the hobbies that I have are typically in the space of creativity. I DJ in my spare time. I've always had a love for music. So as I've gotten older and got more aware of technologies that exist, I've gotten more into producing music and just playing around with sounds. When it comes to choosing where I live, I have a matrix of about 14 things that qualify as safety, the amount of singles that they have as I'm still single, the population, how diverse it is, the government, how stable it is, the currency, and a few other things. And Dubai hit pretty high on that list. What I love the most about Dubai is the cultural diversity. There's people from literally all over the world. So immediately I was able to come and feel at home. On top of that, it's very centrally located. So I can travel to the US or travel to the East and check out various like Southeast Asian countries along with Australia. And then at the same time, there's just a lot to do here. As an American expat that's also black, I would say my experience has been very different than what I'm used to. In America, you're typically identified as a black person first, and then after that, you're an engineer or janitor or whatever they want to label you as. And I would say that as I've traveled around the world, as soon as I open my mouth and people hear the accent, I typically get categorized with the rest of Americans. So quite often I don't feel my blackness. It's almost like you're celebrated and people will come up to you and they want to talk and engage with you. So I found that it's been, maybe for the first time in my life, a privilege to be a black person. And
the hunt begins.
Fast, eh?
Drop in a smoke.
Adapt
Easy
or
come
die!
Stay down. My ult's ready. All right. Watch this.
No peeking.
Turret out.
I can't use that refresh. Back like I never left.
They're both
Have one of these. Drop in a smoke.
Going B, through mid.
Swarm grenade out.
I think they're both on site. Server darted and Vise is on site. Flash.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Last player standing.
Nowhere to run!
The Model Y was already the best-selling car on the planet, and the all-new Model Y just got better.
I wanted to come on here and rant real quick. I know a lot of you are going to comment or say, don't worry, it happened, you can't do anything about it, or don't focus on that.
Switching
I'm not saying
sides.
that, but I'm gonna focus on it because it's just what happened in my life. As maybe you guys know, I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in January. I got put on chemotherapy. I got put on a bad treatment called oxaliplatin, and it took away all my strength. I was pretty strong. My testosterone, my estrogen levels was messed up because of cancer, and I just feel like I wasted all my potential. I had to stop going to school because of the treatment. I couldn't work anymore because of my treatment. I was going to become a police officer, and I couldn't because of my treatment. I wanted to join the military because I wanted to, and I can't because of my treatment, right? And there's so much that I felt like I couldn't do because of
No whinging. We've come back for worse. Reloading. I got the spike.
Locating targets.
2B.
Dropping smokes.
All missiles away.
Refreshing. Turret down. Spike planted.
Last player standing.
too many brain cells figuring them out. Overthinking is just as bad as underthinking.
My treatment. It's not that I didn't feel like I could do it because I couldn't do it because of my treatment, because of chemotherapy, because of my cancer, because I got diagnosed with stage 4, and I don't know what caused it. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I deserve this, but it happened, right?
Enemy spotted, B.
Drop in a smoke.
Why is it?
Last player standing.
I was squatting 500 pounds. I was deadlifting 515 pounds.
You know what we should do? I'll tell you. We should win.
NHS hospitals treat over 250,000 of us every day.
That is an abnormal pumping of the heart.
Open 24/7, hospitals